I live in the place called the Hill, Tupelo Hill, and they moved into our neighborhood. And they were one of like 3 or 4 white families in the neighborhood. And he was standing at that fence, and he watched it for a while, and we decided we'd go up and ask his mother, Gladys, could he come out and play with us? And she was kind of reluctant at first. She watched us play, and so she finally let him come over the fence with us.
Actually, we met when I was an infant down here on Adams Street, 1 block down from here, and nearly every afternoon Gladys and Elvis would walk down and you know, spend some time, and he just started picking up me and playing with me when I was just an infant. We just grew up together. He being a little bit younger than them, you know, I'd get a big laugh out of them arguing back and forth, you know, them about, we're going to do this, or we're going to do that, or we're not going to do this, or we're not going to do that. And but you know, it's just you know, some guys just young boys that didn't have nothing else to do, so we'd find something to do. If wasn't anything going on, we'd try to make something happen.
Then we go down to the fairgrounds where he performed that time, but they had a one-side stadium there that and we'd play baseball out there, and the spectators would sit in the stadium. That was the stadium for the fair, really, when they have entertainment, the bull rides and all the horse riding and all that. So he used to go up there and sit up in that stand. And we used to have to make him come down when he was turning back. Somewhere he'd sit up there and stare across there. But we thought he was kind of nuts. You know, we all were fools, you know, we all were nuts boys. And I know when I came back, I was gone when he came here, but he ended up playing there at that place. And it was kind of ironic that he used to sit there and stare across there. I guess he pictured himself doing it, I guess.
The last time I saw him was here. I was in Tupelo, December 29, 1970. He and Priscilla and a couple of guys that worked with him was in town, and they made him honorary deputy sheriff of Lee County. And after we got all that done, then he and I and Priscilla come out here and visited out in here later on that night, you know, just as it was getting dark. He wanted to know if my brother and I ever ever came to the swimming pool, and I told him, yeah, you know, and then he wanted to know if we played ball on that field. He said, well, you know, that was his intentions of putting it here so that kids would have somewhere to swim and play ball and stuff, and didn't have to play in the pasture or down in the creek and stuff like that. He said, you know, things have changed since me as you, little fellow. And I said, yeah, I don't know if change is good always, but we still have change.
We was all out, kind of just out together there in the pasture there. And she sprung it on and said, I'm gonna have to move this week. I'll be moving. And we thought another one of his fantasies. Yeah, right. He said, I gotta go, we gotta move. He didn't tell me where he was going to. But then we watched him move. They did move within that week. We was kind of afraid that he was, like I said, he was kind of a different guy. We was kind of afraid that people wouldn't understand him like we did. And even the relatives, adult people around him, when he left, it was kind of sad because they learned to like that little boy, loved that little boy, let's put that, but they didn't know what they was loving. They just know he was nice. He was one of the fellas, he was one of us, you know, he act like. So when he was in that neighborhood, it wasn't no black and white. You were protected. If you was a child, you belonged to that whole neighborhood. I don't care how many of you, what you look like, you belong to that neighborhood, and nobody gonna bother you while you're in that neighborhood.
I would have really loved to have seen him one more time, you know, before he passed on, but our paths just didn't cross, you know. He had one thing to do and I had another, so but we saw a lot of each other back in the 50s and stuff like that, you know. But visiting him up there and him visiting us down here pretty often. And, so it was a great friendship.
One time I was out in California and I tried to see him, and he was performing out there between acts. had one in the morning, kind of late. They say he had one that morning, but he's getting ready for the afternoon thing, and I was in between. But they wouldn't let me stand. That's my last contact with him. Would have hugged him, would have hugged forever. Because that was my buddy. Yeah, and if they had told him I was out there, he'd jumped out the window out there. Yeah, man, the show, boy, look at me where I am now, man. Yeah. I guess we would have hugged forever, I guess. Yeah, one of my buddies, one of them good.